There is a power in the stories we hear. There is power in the stories we tell. And there is power in the stories we live. We are, at our very essence, a storytelling people. Philip Pullman, an author, once said, "After nourishment, shelter, and companionship, stories are the things we need most in the world." And storytelling works because we get swept up in both their message and in the manner in which they are told. Quite literally, stories are able to transport our mind and spirit to another place. And through storytelling, we are able to pass down from one generation to the next our values, our morals, and our very purpose for being. And I think you know this is true. Remember how fondly you recall those times you gather as a family as you share and listen to stories of your past. And by doing so, you keep those important and cherished memories alive. And more importantly, perhaps, you pass on to the next generation those memories and values your family holds and cherishes the most. Unfortunately, not all stories are good stories or have happy endings. There are powerful, dark stories that, if we are not careful, will be our family narrative we pass on to our children. These are the stories our world tells today. They are stories of fear, terrorism, and violence, the economy, global warming, hatred, and disease. These are the antagonists of the stories told in our streets and in our homes and pervade throughout every corner in our world today. Stories of people killing people because of their skin color or sexual orientation or race. Stories of people attempting to escape hatred and violence to a place created for freedom, only to be blocked at the very last moment by barricades built by people and held up with fear. Stories of people in poverty. A poverty that is created and maintained by those in power to keep those in power in power. Stories where diversity of thought and diversity of appearance and diversity of belief is told to us to be wrong or unnatural. These are powerful, dark stories our world has told in the past, is telling today, and if we are not careful, will tell again tomorrow. These dark stories are stories of taking at the expense of others. Stories of taking lives and freedoms and dignities away from God's children and God's creation. These are stories of fear. But into this fear, across all the centuries of human existence, Jesus tells a different story, a true story, a story that shines a bright light on a dark world. A story to bring comfort and hope to an increasingly threatening world. Don't be afraid, little flock, Jesus tells us, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. In the gospel story we just heard today, Jesus is telling us we have no reason to fear. We do not need to worry or be afraid because we are in God's story. And it is God's good pleasure to give us His kingdom, the treasures of heaven. God wants to give us that which is imperishable, undestroyable, and undeniable. The story of God that we are helping to write is not of a God who created all that is, then stepped out of His story to dispassionately watch as all of time unfolds. Rather, this is a story of our God who attends to even the sparrows and the ravens and the lilies. Our God whose concern for each one of us extends down to the very hair on our heads. Apparently He cares for some people more than other people. But the message of our gospel story today is more to do than simply being unafraid. The message of our story is that we are called to be ready to receive the blessings God so much wants to give us. Jesus is telling us, I think Jesus is telling us when he says, sell your possessions and give alms, that we are to trust the story God is wanting us to share with the whole world, and not the story of the world. We are challenged in writing the story of our lives to answer this simple test. Do you want to live lives of taking or lives of giving? Do the actions of our lives tell a story of lightness or a story of darkness? The actions we take in answering this question reveals the truth found in our hearts. And if our story is one of light and what God's story echoes within us, then the blessing he promises us is ours. If our story is God's story, we will be prepared to accept the gift of God's kingdom when it is offered to us. But remember, we need to be dressed for action and our lamps lit, shining in a bright light on the dark world around us. Each one of us vows when we are baptized to share the story of the good news of God in Christ by word and example. And when we live into this vow, we are truly prepared for the blessing God says is ours. The story we share with the world through word and act example is that we are ready for and not afraid of God. Come listen to our story. We call out. Brothers and sisters, our story can be powerful. If that powerful story is heard by enough times, it can change the way many people think and act. And if we change the way enough people think and act, we can change the world. But this story cannot be told by only one person. If we want the story of God to touch many people, all of us need to be ready to tell God's story. And that story needs to be told within the diversity of all of God's great creation. A diversity that offers individual intimacy to inspire those listening to take action. We need a good story told by many people, offering breadth and volume to provide the amplification strong enough so that it is heard around the entire world. A story good enough to be shared with future generations. The power this story has of God in our lives is one of hope and readiness. And we are ready when we help those fearing the world around us. We are ready when we stand on the correct side of the social issues and morals that are sweeping across our nation today like an epidemic. We need that good story to give us courage to face with conviction the dark world of today. And I think the story of Jesus and the